president of the LA Angels of Anaheim, because Macau, it's just slightly out of the old tax bracket there for the Grinch over here. But, we'll see what we can work out. I know Tim's got lots of miles. Why? Because going all around baseball. And what a great season, Tim. And first off, don't want to overshadow it. It was a phenomenal season for the LA Angels of Anaheim. And watching baseball now for 4 decades, I know how great a regular season can be and how it can get short-circuited sometimes. Being a Mets fan, I know in '88, even though they won in '86, they were better in '88, and the Dodgers short-circuited their year. Ironically, it was your manager, Mike Socha, with that 3-run blast that actually destroyed old Gooden and the boys, and we never looked back. But what an incredible season for the guys, and so much adversity, Tim, that they fought through, losing player after player. I mean, chemistry was there. I mean, it was definitely there. Unfortunately, you ran into a team right now that doesn't think they can lose.
Ken, it's a great point. It was a good season, and sometimes the result doesn't always reflect the process. I mean, yes, the 2001 Mariners won 116 games and didn't make it out of the first round. So we had a great season. There's no rhyme or reason for what happened in Kansas City. We had 2 players hit above 200, and that lost 2 11-inning games. Some great defense by the Royals, and I think the baseball world is seeing an outstanding team. That one of the things we talked about a little bit too, Kim, is that with the new format of the elimination game, the young team that hasn't been there before, sometimes you look and say what kind of postseason experience are they going to get nervous or uptight. And you play that 1-game playoff right from the get-go. 5-game series and a 7-game series, breath of fresh air after you go through that. So they kind of came of age real quick and against Oakland, and then they had fun against us.
And the way they won the game, I mean, here it's 7-3, they're down against Leicester. I'm looking saying they've got no chance. Next thing, they tie it up, they have a chance to win, but they don't win it, and then they fall behind again a run, and they battle back for 2 runs to win it in extra innings.
Kind of reminded you that the Rangers-Cardinals game, in the World Series, and I think that's one of the things that just makes baseball so great is you can look on paper and you can have everything that says it should happen. I go back to Game 5 with us in the '86 playoffs. Everything was lined up. But that's just not the way it is. You still have to play the game. And I think somebody forgot to tell Kansas City they weren't supposed to be doing what they were doing.
Yeah, and somebody forgot to tell Dave Henderson not to hit that blast, no doubt about it. I remember '86 to me was probably the most incredible postseason ever. And just the dramatics, the way the Mets were able to just get past Houston. If they don't win that game, they have to face Mike Scott again the next day. They weren't going to beat Mike Scott the way that he was dominating baseball that year. And then, of course, you guys having the Sox, and it looked like for all intents and purposes it's over. Lo and behold, it's that old 3-run homer or whatever. And I remember all week we were saying the biggest hit in baseball, that 3-run homer, especially when it comes at a time that nobody's expecting it. And Henderson came up big in the playoffs. It's unbelievable how turnaround was fair play, though, as they knocked you guys out and they got eliminated pretty much the same way against the Mets.
Absolutely. That was a great series. I look back and I tell people today that we're fortunate enough to wear World Series rings from 2002, but the sting of '86 still lingers on because at that point, we're up 3-1, that 9th inning, and that club, the organization, even the media were pulling for Mr. Autry. And I think that's something that was just, in terms not necessarily regrets, but things that you wish could have panned out differently. It was not getting Gene Autry to the World Series. And you look back at it, there was a bottom of the 9th inning where we did tie that game up, and everybody reflects at the top of the 9th. And Donnie Moore, who took it out in the 9th inning, also was on the mound in the 11th inning. Closers were a little bit different than they are today. But we went back to Boston, and we were just flat. And we lost game 6 and 7, and we were out of it relatively early. When people talk to you about emotionally carrying over from day to day, these are tremendous athletes, but we've been part of a couple of games that definitely put it over to the next day.
Well, here's the thing. Being a Mets fan back in New York, in New Jersey area, grew up actually in North Jersey. My dad was a great Brooklyn Dodger fan. My last name is Thompson without a P, the way Bobby spelled his name. So October 3rd, 1951, when Bobby hits a shot heard around the world. My dad, living in the Italian section in Brooklyn, didn't want his Italian buddies to know he spelled his name the same way Bobby Thompson did. Started putting a P in his last name just to make sure. And I heard all the horror stories, of course, Mickey Owen dropping the 3rd strike. And 1955 was the only year that the Dodgers ended up winning, and I still have that replica jersey from Brooklyn. But all those horror stories, and so I rooted against the Yankees hard, big time. So I adopted the Kansas City Royals, and this is in 1971. John Mayberry, Cookie Rojas, Freddie Patek, old school guys, and then Hal McRae and Brett and those guys started coming up. So 76, 77, 78, when the Royals lost to the Yankees 3 successive years in the playoffs, I think I owed every kid in school $5. Used to hit the old man's pockets and his big jug of change so I could pay off all these. And then finally, when you became an intern for the Angels in 1980, what do? I go off to boot camp.